Welcome to Wife Cheating Story. I hope you have an enjoyable and relaxing time listening. Let's get started.
I trusted her. And my brother. Vincent's voice trembled, his grip tightening on Rex's leash. As he crept closer to the patio, the voices grew clearer, her laughter, his brother's mocking reply. "Hell never find out." Wayne's voice echoed, low and smug. Betrayal stabbed through Vincent like a jagged knife. Standing there in the shadows, his world shattered. But this wasn't defeat, it was the spark of a storm brewing. "You've made your choice," he muttered under his breath, stepping forward. The reckoning was about to begin. Vincent Whitaker whistled softly as he exited the sleek training yard behind his ranch-style home. A yard usually filled with barked commands and the powerful presence of German shepherds. But at this late hour, only one dog remained at his side. Rex, a sable-coated K9 with keen, intelligent eyes. The moonlight sketched silvery outlines on the meticulously kept fence, glinting against the neat kennel rows. Vincent prided himself on being the best K9 trainer for police and military applications, instilling loyalty and precision in each dog. This place represented a decade of work, his domain, his fortress. He pulled off his gloves, patting Rex's flank. "You're a damn good boy," he murmured. Rex's ears perked, sensing his handler's tension. Normally, Vincent would keep training sessions going until well past midnight if a competition neared. But tonight he'd left the other dogs with his assistant trainer early, claiming personal reasons. Something in his gut felt off, an instinct echoing from years of working with canines. They recognized betrayal. Before humans did, Vincent had learned to trust that sense. He saw a faint glow from the back patio of his house, as if a light had been left on. It was near 10 p.m., and typically his wife Madeline would be inside, possibly preparing dinner or waiting for him. But lately she'd been oddly absent. She was a marketing executive at a mid-tier firm, known for her polished persona and relentless social climbing. In the last few months, she'd come home at unpredictable hours, smelling of perfume that wasn't hers. Or so Vincent had suspected. Rex, especially, had growled once when sniffing her coat. He'd laughed it off, but the memory now prickled his mind. He unlocked the side gate quietly. Rex gave a low, rumbling growl that Vincent had come to associate with tension. The dog's hackles rose, glancing toward the lit patio doors. Vincent paused, pressing a hand to Rex's head. "Easy," he whispered. Then he heard a soft laugh, distinctly female, accompanied by a man's voice, a voice too familiar, Wayne Vincent's younger brother. Confusion rippled through him. Wayne had no reason to be here at this hour, especially not on a Wednesday night. They hadn't exactly parted on good terms last time they spoke. Crouching behind a tall, ornamental shrub, Vincent peered across the yard. The sliding glass door was half open, revealing the edge of the living room. He caught glimpses of movement, two silhouettes. He recognized Wayne's stocky build and that mocking posture, and Madeline's slender figure wearing a form-fitting top that Vincent had never seen her wear at home for him. They were close, uncomfortably close, sharing laughter that should have been reserved for husband and wife, not brother and sister-in-law. Rex let out another warning rumble. Vincent's pulse pounded. He'd known Wayne to be manipulative, someone who always scrounged for money, who'd borrowed from Vincent multiple times for construction site expansions. But Vincent never imagined Wayne would stoop to crossing this line. A slow burn ignited in his gut, a combination of betrayal and righteous anger. He advanced, quiet as a hunting wolf, with Rex beside him. Through the open door, he caught the unmistakable words. "Can't keep meeting like this, Wayne," Madeline said with a half-laugh. "Vincent might catch on." Wayne snorted. "He's clueless, always off training those dogs. Bet he doesn't even realize how bored you've been." There was a rustle of fabric, an implication of intimate contact. Vincent's stomach twisted. Madeline's voice lowered, almost seductive. He's so predictable, never taking risks, never surprising me. And you're, Wayne cut in smugly. More exciting? We both know I can give you what he never could. So when do we tell him? Madeline must have stepped back because her tone turned wary. I'm not sure if we tell him anything. That might blow up everything. Anger flooded Vincent's veins. They spoke of him like an inconvenience. And they obviously had planned out these trysts behind his back, using his house like a cheap motel. The dog beside him trembled with the tension, sensing his fury. Vincent inhaled, forcing calm. If he barged in violently, it'd only feed Wayne's narrative that Vincent was a brute, but he refused to remain meek. Drawing a slow breath, Vincent rose from behind the shrub, instructing Rex in a low command, "Stay." Then he strode across the patio in full view, stepping into the living room. Wayne and Madeline whirled around. Wayne's face twisted from smug to startled, while Madeline's eyes widened, guilt flaming her cheeks. Vincent's voice was low, ice cold. Well, well, my dear brother, my dear wife, cozy chat you're having." Silence, thick and suffocating. Wayne recovered first, sneering. "Vic, didn't expect you so early?" Rex trotted in, hackles raised, baring teeth at Wayne. The dog recognized the tension, or perhaps the scent of betrayal. Wayne cursed under his breath, stepping back. "Get that animal away!" Madeline's voice trembled. "Vincent! It's not what it looks!" Vincent let out a mirthless laugh. "Don't insult me! I heard plenty!" He let Rex approach Wayne, the dog's fangs glinting. Wayne flinched. A whirlwind of confrontation erupted. Wayne tried to stand tall, shrugging like a defiant teenager. "So what if we're having a private conversation? She's not your property, man." Vincent advanced, fists clenched. "Private conversation? Or private affair? In my house, Wayne?" Madeline grabbed Vincent's arm, pleading. "Vincent, calm down, please. We didn't—" He shook her off. "Don't you dare ask me to calm down. How long?" Madeline's face paled. She stammered. It's been a few months. He was lonely. I was bored." Wayne smirked. "Yeah, big bro, you left the door wide open." "Don't blame me." That sneer snapped Vincent's last thread of restraint. He whipped a glare at Wayne, who ironically stepped back again. A savage part of Vincent wanted to sick Rex on him, but he'd trained the dog for controlled response. So he gave a single hand signal. Rex lunged forward, snapping at Wayne's pant leg, teeth tearing the fabric, drawing an immediate yelp from Wayne. Madeline shrieked, "Stop!" She tried to yank Rex's collar, but the dog wouldn't budge without Vincent's command. Wayne fell backward, cursing, fear flickering in his eyes. "Get it off me!" Vincent gave another command, and Rex instantly released, returning to Vincent's side. Vincent's voice tremored with fury. "Get out, Wayne! Get out before I let Rex do more! And you!" He turned to Madeline. "Pack your things and leave with him if that's what you want. But you're done in this house." Wayne clutched his torn sleeve, stumbling upright, trying to maintain dignity. "You'll regret this, Vincent. Don't think you can overshadow me forever." He spat on the floor, limping out the patio door. Madeline looked torn, her eyes darting between her lover and husband. She forced a sob. "Vincent, I made a mistake." He cut her off, voice cracking. "A mistake? You orchestrated months of betrayal under my nose. That's not a slip-up, that's a choice. You either leave with him or get the hell out on your own." Tears streaming, she choked out. "I'm sorry, but you're so obsessed with your dogs, you never gave me excitement. Wayne did. I never wanted it to end like this." Vincent's chest burned with heartbreak. He stepped aside, pointing to the hallway. Go. I can't even look at you. She hesitated, perhaps expecting him to relent, to beg. But she found only steel in his glare. With a broken sob, she ran for the bedroom to grab some essentials. Vincent watched her pass, trembling with rage, sorrow, and a cold sense of finality. Their marriage was over the moment she chose Wayne over him. Minutes later, Madeline dashed out with a small bag, avoiding Vincent's gaze. She vanished into the night, presumably chasing after Wayne. The hush that followed was deafening. The living room lights illuminated the disarray, the couch rumpled from their closeness, a wine glass on the table. So many signs of betrayal. Vincent stood there, fists clenched, breath uneven. Rex pressed close, offering silent canine sympathy. The dog's presence grounded him. After a few ragged breaths, Vincent sank to his knees, burying his face in Rex's fur. He had to gather composure. This was only the beginning of the storm. Eventually, he rose, phone in hand. A single number came to mind, Serenity, his longtime neighbor. She was the only person he trusted right now. He dialed, voice shaky. Serenity, can I come over? Something serious happened. Her concerned tone confirmed she'd been worried for him. Of course, Vincent. My door's open. He ended the call, gave one last glance at the shattered illusions in his house, and left with Rex by his side. Vincent's truck rumbled along the quiet suburban street, headlights cutting through the darkness as he drove to Serenity's property. Even though the clock neared midnight, he guessed she'd be waiting on her porch, worry etched on her face. Serenity had known him for over a decade, first as a neighbor who admired his canine training, then as a close friend who sometimes confided in him about her own life struggles. But never had she seen him in such a raw, broken state. He parked near her driveway, shutting off the engine. Stay, he murmured to Rex, but the dog whined softly, not wanting to leave his side. Vincent relented, deciding the dog might be a comfort. He unlatched the door, stepping onto the gravel. Serenity appeared at the threshold, arms folded against the cool air, her expression tense. She gave him a searching look. What happened, Vincent? You sound destroyed. He swallowed hard. Wayne and Madeline, he managed, voice tight. I caught them together. Serenity's eyes flashed with alarm. My God, I'm so sorry. She ushered him inside, shutting the door behind them. The cozy warmth of her living room enveloped them, plush chairs, soft lamp glow, and a faint scent of chamomile. Rex patted at Vincent's heels. Serenity quickly pulled out a water bowl, remembering how Vincent always carried a collapsible one for traveling. She offered Vincent a seat on the sofa, taking the armchair opposite. He sank down heavily, head in his hands. I shouldn't have let it get this far, he muttered. All the signs were there. She was cold, dismissive. But I was so busy, so trusting. Serenity's voice was gentle. You had no reason to suspect your own brother would do this. Wayne's always been trouble, but never did I think he'd stoop so low. Vincent nodded, heart pounding with remembered fury. He's always envied me. He'd pick fights, demand money, call me arrogant. I turned the other cheek because family. He spat the last word bitterly. Now, it's cost me my marriage. Serenity reached out, touching his arm lightly. Don't blame yourself for their betrayal. It's not your fault if they're morally bankrupt. Her sympathy was genuine, the warmth of it nearly overwhelming him. He exhaled a shaking breath. I appreciate you letting me crash here tonight. I don't want to stay in that house. Serenity gave a small, empathetic smile. You can rest in my spare room, or if you prefer the couch. It's open. No expectations, just support. He felt grateful for her respect and kindness. Usually he prided himself on never needing help, but tonight he was drowning in shock. "Thank you," he murmured. Before heading to rest, he pulled out his phone, scanning messages. Wayne hadn't texted, not surprisingly. Russell, their father, was probably unaware. Madeline was silent. Vincent guessed she was holed up somewhere with Wayne. The thought twisted his gut anew. He tried to steady his mind. Tomorrow he'd begin the real fight. They'd learn he wasn't some pushover. He shot a final look at Serenity. "I can't stay passive. Tomorrow I'll do whatever it takes. Lawyers, freezing accounts, whatever. They must face consequences." Serenity nodded approvingly. "That's the Vincent I know, strong, strategic. Don't let them stomp on you. If you need me, I'm on your side." Her unwavering loyalty steadied him. He patted Rex's flank, standing to go find the spare room. He whispered thanks to Serenity. Then he disappeared down the hallway, mind swirling with schemes for revenge, heart burning with betrayal. This was only the beginning. Vincent rose at dawn, still in yesterday's clothes. The entire night was a half-sleep, his mind cycling through possible moves. He decided to call in sick for the day at his canine facility, which was an enormous statement, since the dogs relied on him. But his second-in-command could handle it temporarily. This personal matter demanded immediate attention. Down the hall, he heard Serenity bustling in the kitchen. He found her frying eggs. "I made breakfast," she said with a small smile. "You need energy for the battles ahead." He gave a grateful nod, though he had little appetite. "Thanks. Last night I realized how badly Wayne's resented me, how he's always tried to overshadow me. And now he overshadowed me with my wife." Rage flared momentarily. Serenity put a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Hold on to that anger. Let it drive you, but control it. Don't let them manipulate you into an outburst that undermines your case." He forced a few bites of egg, nodded, and stepped outside with Rex for a quick walk. Crisp morning air stung his face. The dog's presence reminded him to remain composed. Rex was a living testament to discipline and loyalty. If a dog could be so faithful, then betrayal among humans was truly a vile breach. When he returned, he found Serenity holding a small notepad. "I jotted down a few steps for you. Lawyers, financial freeze, maybe a private investigator to confirm the timeline of their affair. Then you can finalize your approach." He gave a tight smile. "Thank you. I'll do exactly that." Vincent debated whether to confront Wayne directly. Part of him craved a physical showdown. He wanted to see Wayne cower. Another part recognized that a rational approach with legal precision would cut deeper. He rummaged for his phone, calling a local attorney recommended by a friend. She was known for her aggressive style, perfect for someone seeking a strong revenge. He booked an appointment for later that morning. Then, to gain clarity, he called his father, Russell ironically. Usually, Russell favored Wayne, but maybe, just maybe, he'd at least be outraged by the affair. The call rang thrice before Russell answered with a gruff, "Yes?" Vincent inhaled. "Dad, Wayne slept with Madeline. I found them together last night in my house." A pause, then Russell exhaled a curse. "Vincent, that's serious. Are you sure you're not overreacting? Maybe it was just an innocent—" Vincent's voice hardened. "Don't do that. I saw it. Heard them speak about it. This is no misunderstanding." Another pause. Then Russell let out a dismissive grunt. "Look, your brother's always had a wild streak. Maybe you should calm down and handle it privately. We don't want a family scandal." The insinuation that Vincent's anger was the bigger problem enraged him. "Dad, Your youngest son is sleeping with my wife, and you blame me for being upset? This is beyond family secrets." Russell's tone turned patronizing. "I just don't want Wayne's construction business to suffer or our family name tarnished. Let's keep it quiet. You can find another woman, right? You and Madeline were rocky anyway." Vincent's grip on the phone tightened. "You're unfreaking believable, Dad. I see where Wayne gets his self-centered arrogance." He ended the call, shaking with fury. So there'd be no paternal support. Russell sided with Wayne, as always, more concerned about family image and Wayne's success. He told Serenity about it. She frowned. "That's disgusting. Russell's basically telling you to hush up so Wayne can continue unchecked. Don't let them hush you." Vincent nodded. "I won't." Late morning, Vincent arrived at a sleek law office. The attorney, Charlene Hopkins, ushered him into her glass-walled conference room. She was a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s, known for handling high-stakes divorces with a no-nonsense approach. He explained everything: the affair, the potential financial entanglements with Wayne's manipulations, Madeline's role as a marketing exec, etc. Charlene took thorough notes, occasionally nodding in sympathy, but her eyes gleamed with professional interest. "This is quite a case, Mr. Whitaker," she said. "We can leverage infidelity to secure a favorable divorce outcome. Also, if Wayne took any of your funds, that's theft or fraud. You said you suspect Madeline might have siphoned from your joint accounts for Wayne?" Vincent nodded grimly. "Yes. I want them both to pay. Morally, legally, financially." He explained how he'd financed Wayne's construction site expansions, paying some of Wayne's debts, only to be repaid with betrayal. Charlene's lips thinned. "We can sue Wayne for breach of trust if you have proof he used your funds under false pretenses. Also, we can expedite a divorce from Madeline citing adultery. Many states allow for fault-based divorce that might exclude spousal support." Vincent exhaled, relief mixed with renewed anger. "Yes, do it. I want Madeline out with minimal or no compensation. She used me, laughed at me, then jumped into bed with my own brother. Enough is enough." Charlene nodded, drafting notes. "We'll gather more evidence. I strongly suggest a private investigator to confirm the timeline. That ensures we have a bulletproof argument in court." He agreed. As he left the law firm, a sense of purpose blazed within him. This was the first official step. He already envisioned how Wayne might react, or how Madeline might attempt to spin the narrative. But he was done playing the docile provider. This was war. Vincent lost no time securing a private investigator, Gail Sutton, recommended by Charlene. Gail specialized in domestic and financial investigations, a pragmatic ex-cop who didn't sugarcoat results. They met in a small cafe. Vincent laid out the situation. "I suspect Madeline and Wayne have been meeting for months. I want phone records, financial statements, anything that shows the affair timeline or money siphoning." Gail nodded. "I'll dig in. Also, we can see if Wayne has done other shady deals that might strengthen your case. Some states weigh broader dishonesty in divorce or civil suits." Her matter-of-fact confidence reassured him. She left with a determined stride, leaving Vincent to nurse a coffee, heart pounding with anticipation. If Wayne or Madeline thought he'd just fade away, they were about to see a different side. That evening, Vincent updated Serenity. She listened intently, arms crossed as she leaned against her porch rail. "I'm proud of you," she said softly. "I've known you as a patient, kind man, but you can channel your intelligence in a ruthless way when needed." Vincent gave a wry chuckle. "I guess so. I just hope I don't lose my sense of decency along the way. Wayne sure didn't have any." She placed a hand on his forearm. "Don't worry. You're not becoming them. You're just defending yourself." Rex lounged by Vincent's feet, occasionally perking his ears at passing cars. The dog's presence reminded Vincent that loyalty existed. Rex never betrayed me, he thought ruefully. A few days later, Wayne showed up unannounced at Vincent's K-9 facility. Vincent, in the middle of training a police dog, saw Wayne's pickup screech into the lot. Tension shot through him. Without missing a beat, he told his assistant to handle the dog, then approached Wayne, posture stiff. "What do you want?" he growled. Wayne hopped out, smirking despite the bruise on his arm from Rex's bite. "I want to talk, big bro. Let's not get all dramatic." He scanned the yard. "Your little fortress of dogs. Heard you're lawyering up. So petty." Vincent's jaw tightened. "Petty? You and Madeline betrayed me. I'm defending myself." Wayne spat. "Come on, man. We both know you never satisfied her. I did you a favor, exposed your boring life. Let's keep it in the family. No need for lawsuits." Vincent's fists clenched. "You're unbelievable." Wayne rolled his eyes. "I thought you might be smarter. Lawsuits ruin your precious reputation. But if you want a war, fine. Just remember, Dad's on my side. He'll say you're the unstable one, that you forced Madeline away with your dog obsession. Courts might buy that." Vincent scowled. "Dad's moral compass is non-existent. He can't shield you from the truth. I have an attorney and we have evidence." Wayne's smirk faltered. "Evidence? Of what?" Vincent refused to elaborate. He crossed his arms. "You'll find out in court. Now leave before I let Rex greet you again." Wayne glared, turning to stomp back to his truck. "Don't come crying if you lose everything. I'm done playing nice." He revved the engine, roaring away. Vincent exhaled a trembling breath, reeling from the sheer arrogance of Wayne's attitude. But it only fueled his resolve. Let Wayne think he was unstoppable. Vincent would show him otherwise. The next day, Russell called. Vincent debated ignoring it, but answered, wanting to see if the older man had changed his stance. "Vincent," Russell began curtly, "I hear you're hiring lawyers, stirring up trouble. Let me remind you that family matters shouldn't be aired publicly." Vincent bit back a bark of laughter. "Dad, you're worried about Wayne's reputation, not our family's. He's the one who bedded my wife. That's the scandal, not my reaction." Russell's voice hardened. "Sometimes a woman's disloyalty is a man's fault. You were never present enough for Madeline." Wayne stepped in. "End of story. Let it go, or you'll ruin the family name." Vincent inhaled, stifling the urge to scream. "You're unbelievable. I'm done with your favoritism. If you choose Wayne over me, fine. But don't expect me to hush up. The law is on my side." Russell spat a curse. "You'll regret crossing your own father. Mark my words." He hung up abruptly. Vincent stared at the silent phone. The entire dynamic was grotesque. Russell defending Wayne's affair, refusing to hold him accountable. The older man's loyalty to Wayne was so blind that he'd rather see Vincent robbed of dignity than see Wayne face consequences. Vincent forced himself to remain calm, reminding himself that with a good legal strategy, he wouldn't need Russell's approval for anything. To Vincent's surprise, Madeline texted him that evening. "I want to talk. Wayne is going too far. Can we meet just us somewhere neutral?" He found it suspect, but agreed, suggesting a public cafe. He didn't trust a private setting with her. She arrived looking drawn, eyes rimmed with dark circles. She slid into a booth across from him. "Vincent," she began in a hushed tone, I realize how awful it looks. Wayne is, well, not who I thought. He's basically pushing me to ask you for money or to manipulate you into dropping the lawsuit. I feel cornered." Vincent forced a neutral expression. "Not who you thought? Madeline, you both cheated on me. You think I care about your regrets now?" She winced. "I deserve that. But please, hear me out." Wayne is pressuring me to claim in court that you were abusive or that you ignored me. He says that's how we can get a settlement, but I don't want to lie to that extent. I just wanted excitement, not a scorched earth scenario. He felt a flicker of disgust. So you're telling me Wayne wants you to lie so you can extract money from me, but you're not comfortable, and what? You want me to do what exactly? She glanced at him with haunted eyes. Could we come to some private settlement that spares us a public trial? I never wanted to destroy you. And Wayne, he's just manipulative. Her voice trembled, tears forming. Maybe I made a horrible mistake. If we can handle this quietly, I'll vanish from your life. No fiasco in court, no scandal. Vincent studied her face, searching for sincerity. He found mostly fear. Fear that Wayne's path was riskier. Fear that the trial might reveal even more humiliating details. He felt no compassion left. Why should I protect you? You humiliated me. I have the moral and legal advantage now. You want an easy exit, but you also want to avoid Wayne's fury? She swallowed. Yes. He's been verbally aggressive, even physically threatening. I see now he's not my savior. He just used me to get at you. Vincent pursed his lips. He recognized the pattern. Wayne used Madeline to wound Vincent. Now that it was done, Wayne's real colors showed. All right, let's cut the bull. I'm divorcing you. My lawyer is building a case citing adultery and financial impropriety. If you want to avoid your name being dragged through every detail, sign an uncontested divorce giving me all rightful assets, plus restitution for stolen joint funds. Then I might keep some details private. That's the only quiet settlements you'll get. Madeline gaped. You'd leave me with nothing? Where do I go? He exhaled, tired of her attempts to gain sympathy. That's your problem. You can pick Wayne or vanish on your own, but you aren't keeping a dime of my money. If you resist, we go to court, everything goes public. Your call. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She nodded miserably. Fine. Email me the papers. I guess I have no choice. She rose, shoulders slumped, voice breaking. For what it's worth, I truly am sorry in my own messed-up way, and I don't think you deserved any of this. Vincent gave her a chilling stare. No, I didn't. She turned, leaving the cafe. He sighed, feeling a slight weight lift from his chest. That was one less dimension of the battle. But Wayne remained an imminent threat, especially if he discovered Madeline's about-face. With Madeline's surrender imminent, Vincent focused on Wayne's downfall. P.I. Gail Sutton met him in a discreet park one afternoon, away from prying eyes. She handed him a folder thick with documents. I've traced Wayne's finances. He's heavily leveraged, took out shady loans for his construction business, some co-signed by your father, Russell. If you expose that to creditors, Wayne could face bankruptcy or even fraud charges if certain misrepresentations are proven. Vincent nodded, scanning the data. So he's knee-deep in debt. Good. That means I can hold that over him if he tries to push me. And the personal side? Gail pointed to more pages. He's been involved with multiple women, possibly fathered a child with an ex who's threatening to come forward. He's paid hush money. That hush money suspiciously came from an account you shared with Wayne for some business investment. So yes, we can prove he used your funds to pay off a personal scandal. Rage pulsed through Vincent. He used my money for hush money? God, this is bigger than I expected. Indeed. If you want to press civil charges for misappropriation, you can. He can face serious legal trouble. Also, we found text logs indicating he bragged about taking Vincent's woman for good measure, like it was some twisted competition. Vincent closed the folder, jaw tightening. I'll bury him in court. Let him rot. Gail gave an approving nod. He asked for it. I'll gather more. Meanwhile, keep your composure. He might try intimidation again. Vincent parted ways, mind racing. He realized the simplest solution. Confront Wayne's lenders with this data, ruin Wayne's credit, watch his business crumble. But maybe a more calculated approach would yield a bigger blow. He'd let Wayne dig his own grave, then at the last moment, reveal everything. That tactic felt sweet, but he had to move swiftly before Wayne found a scapegoat. That evening, Vincent returned home to Serenity's spare room to find a missed call from Peyton, his mother. Surprised, he rang back. She answered, voice shaky. Vincent, I heard from Russell that you're planning a major legal offensive. I want to say I'm sorry I never stood up for you more. Russell always favored Wayne, and I let him. But this is too much. Wayne crossed a line. Vincent's anger softened slightly for Peyton. She was often overshadowed by Russell's domineering personality. Mom, I appreciate your words, but I'm done letting the family dynamic crush me. Wayne's about to face the music. I hope you understand. Peyton sighed. I do. I only hope you can find some peace after all this. Wayne's always been a disappointment to me in secret, but Russell coddled him. If there's anything I can do, maybe provide a statement of how Wayne borrowed your money under false pretenses. I'll do it. Vincent felt a surge of gratitude. That would help, Mom. Thank you. After ending the call, he realized Peyton's testimony might further strengthen the fraud angle, another piece falling into place. Wayne, feeling cornered, turned desperate. He called random relatives, spinning tales about Vincent's obsession with revenge. Some believed him, some not. But one cousin, Arlo, approached Vincent with a warning. Hey, I heard Wayne's telling people you forced Madeline away, that you threatened her, that you planned to seize the entire family business. Vincent rolled his eyes. Family business? That's nonsense. He's just lying. Thanks for the heads up, Arlo. The rumor was so outrageous that Vincent doubted it'd do more than amuse a few gullible relatives. Still, it signaled Wayne's new smear campaign. Vincent braced for more. Wayne might stoop to false accusations in court. That's why he had to keep every step documented, every argument unassailable. It was warfare, and he refused to be the losing side again. Amidst the swirling chaos, Russell decided to host a family meeting at the old family home, demanding Vincent's presence. Peyton urged Vincent to attend. Maybe it was a chance to speak truth. Vincent, though reluctant, agreed, suspecting a trap but ready for confrontation. He arrived with Rex in tow, letting his canine companion wait outside, just in case. Inside, Wayne sat in the living room, scowling, a bandage on his forearm from some recent scuffle or dog bite. Madeline was absent, presumably too ashamed or no longer under Russell's wing. Russell loomed at the head of the table. Peyton hovered near the kitchen, anxious. Vincent stepped in, arms folded, eyes flicking from father to brother. Russell wasted no time. Vincent, your vendetta is threatening Wayne's livelihood. Why not handle this privately? You're still his brother. Vincent's lip curled. I was his brother. He spat on that bond. He betrayed me with my wife. That's not brotherhood. Don't lecture me about family values. Wayne tried to glare defiantly. You were never around, man. She needed a real man's company. Vincent ignored the personal jab. We'll let the courts decide. Enough with your mouth. Russell slammed a fist on the table. Stop this nonsense. I forbid you to drag our family name through the mud. Vincent let out a derisive laugh. Forbid me? You have no authority over me, Dad. I'm an adult, financially independent. You chose to side with Wayne. That's your call. But don't expect me to protect his reputation. He's the one who needs to be ashamed. Wayne jumped up, voice venomous. You always thought you were better than me, perfect with your dog training business, your neat finances, your moral high ground. Guess what? I gave Madeline something you never could. So I regret nothing. Vincent's posture tensed. You regret nothing? Fine. Then face the consequences. I have proof you misused my money for hush payouts and you impregnated some other woman before dumping her. The list goes on. Wayne's eyes widened. What? That's none of your... He realized Vincent had discovered that secret. Russell froze, glancing between them. This is out of control, Russell muttered. We're a family. Vincent stepped back, arms raised in finality. Not anymore. You want me to drop the lawsuit, Wayne? Apologize, pay me back every cent you owe, publicly admit you seduced my wife. Maybe then, I'd consider mercy. Wayne's face contorted with hate. He spat on the floor, mirroring an earlier gesture. Never. I'll fight you tooth and nail. Russell's face twisted, a trembling hush blanketing the room. Peyton peeked from the kitchen, tears in her eyes. Please, Vincent, she whispered, we can't tear this family apart. Vincent's gaze softened only toward Peyton. I'm sorry, Mom, but Wayne did that. I'm just setting it right. With that, he turned, stepping out. Wayne hurled insults at his back. Russell barked for them to come back. Vincent left without a backward glance, adrenaline coursing. He strolled outside, letting Rex sniff him, sharing the unspoken tension. Wayne might escalate, but Vincent would be ready. While Wayne raged at Vincent, Madeline faced her own meltdown. She'd moved temporarily into a dingy apartment near Wayne's place, discovering how controlling Wayne truly was. He'd yell at her to get money from Vincent or sabotage Vincent's canine business. She realized too late that Wayne was a far worse partner than the boring but stable Vincent. Torn between guilt and fear, she found herself alone. Wayne was rarely home, presumably chasing other women or boozing with questionable friends. One night, Madeline scrolled through old photos from the early days of her marriage when Vincent had shown unwavering kindness. She recalled the time Vincent saved up for a romantic getaway while still building his K-9 facility, or how he patiently taught her about finances. Tears stung her eyes. She'd thrown that away for cheap thrills with Wayne. Now Wayne barely even offered her the affection she craved. I've made the worst mistake of my life, she whispered to the empty walls. In the weeks following Vincent's explosive confrontation with Wayne at the family meeting, a subdued hush lay over the Whitaker family. Yet beneath that hush, tensions stirred like an earthquake fault line. Vincent, determined to proceed methodically, continued to gather evidence against Wayne with the help of P.I. Gail Sutton, while simultaneously finalizing his divorce filings with attorney Charlene Hopkins. Wayne, on the other hand, raged behind the scenes, plotting ways to sabotage Vincent. Madeline, caught between Wayne's manipulative demands and her own remorse, found herself increasingly anxious. She'd signed the separation agreement Vincent's lawyer sent, an agreement that left her with little more than personal belongings. The official divorce might still take months, but Vincent wasted no time in freezing all joint accounts and ensuring Madeline had no further access to his finances. Now living in an uncomfortable limbo, she realized that Wayne's promises of an exciting life together looked far less appealing with no money and constant friction. Russell clung to illusions of controlling the narrative, summoning relatives to hush things up. Peyton quietly gathered the courage to stand up for Vincent, but her voice was drowned by Russell's attempts to keep Wayne's image intact. Only Serenity, Vincent's supportive neighbor, offered unwavering help. One crisp morning, Vincent was sipping coffee in Serenity's modest kitchen he'd taken to staying there on and off, though he also rotated nights in a small cabin near his K-9 facility. He refused to let Wayne or Madeline feel they'd driven him out permanently. Serenity, pouring her own coffee, said, "So, how's your PI doing? Any new bombshells?" Vincent exhaled. "Gail's sifting through old financial ledgers from Wayne's construction deals. She says there's plenty of evidence of doctored invoices, inflated budgets, maybe even skimming from subcontractors. If that's proven, Wayne could face criminal charges." Serenity gave a low whistle. "I bet he'll panic if indicted. He might lash out like physically." Vincent gave a grim nod. "I'm prepared. My staff at the K9 facility is on alert, and I keep Rex close. Meanwhile, I'll let Wayne's house of cards collapse on its own. I just hope no one innocent gets hurt." Folding away the last of his breakfast, Vincent prepared to head to the facility. He paused, glancing at Serenity. "Thanks, by the way, for all this. Letting me crash, listening to me vent. Means more than you know." She offered a small, genuine smile. "You'd do the same for me. And for what it's worth, seeing you fight back is—" She hesitated, cheeks coloring slightly. "It's admirable." Vincent couldn't deny a flicker of warmth at her words. "I appreciate that. All right, I'll update you soon." He left, heart steeled for the day's battles. Mid-morning, as Vincent wrapped up a training session with a police K9, his phone buzzed repeatedly unknown number. He answered, only to hear Wayne's sneering voice. "Heard you're big on dragging my name through the mud. Well, two can play this game, big bro." Vincent's grip tightened on the phone. "What do you want now?" Wayne's tone was arrogant. "I know a few city officials. I might slip them stories about your dogs being unsafe or your facility violating codes. Could shut you down. You want that?" A burst of anger flared in Vincent's chest. "You're threatening my livelihood because you seduced my wife? That's your logic?" Wayne scoffed. "You forced my hand with these legal threats. Don't cry foul if I retaliate. If your K9 business suddenly fails inspections, your precious operation goes down. No customers. You lose everything." Vincent forced himself to remain calm. "No, Wayne, I won't lose. My facility is fully compliant, and if you try false claims, I'll respond with defamation suits. Don't overestimate your reach. I have allies in the police department who know me well." Wayne chuckled. "We'll see. I have connections, too." Then the line clicked dead. Vincent inhaled slowly, focusing on the dog at his side. Another threat, another wave of hostility. He reminded himself that he had a plan, that Wayne's recklessness could be used against him. That afternoon, Gail Sutton contacted Vincent with startling news. "I found old security camera footage from a local upscale bar, dated 3 months prior footage that captures Wayne bragging about hooking up with Madeline. He even used your name, stating, 'I'll take what Vincent doesn't appreciate.' It's pretty explicit." Vincent felt a sting of betrayal all over again. "That's perfect evidence for my adultery claim. Are the faces clear?" Gail's voice brimmed with satisfaction. "Clear enough. The audio is not pristine, but we can pair it with witness statements. Also, there's a portion that suggests Wayne was forging your signature on certain checks. This could devastate him in court." Vincent nodded slowly. "Let's keep it ready. Once we file final suits, we'll present everything at once so he can't squirm away." At the same time, Gail also revealed a minor bombshell. "I discovered a suspicious deposit in Russell's name that coincided with Wayne's expansions. Possibly your father is financially tangled in Wayne's wrongdoing. This might explain Russell's desperation to hush it up." Vincent paused, feeling a pang of bitter realization. "So Russell was investing in Wayne's fraudulent expansions? Great. That means he's complicit." He shook his head. "No wonder he's pressuring me. This runs deep." Gail agreed. "Once we bring this to light, Russell's finances might face scrutiny too. Are you prepared for that?" Vincent exhaled. "Yes. If he sides with Wayne, then he's chosen his path. Let the chips fall where they may." That evening, Vincent sat in his K-9 facility's small office, sifting through documents. A knock came at the door. Peyton stepped in, shoulders tense. He stood, surprised to see her. "Mom, everything okay?" She offered a tremulous smile. "I came to apologize in person, and to warn you, Russell's furious, calling in favors to protect Wayne's reputation. He claims he'll destroy your facility if you keep pushing. I can't stand by." Vincent frowned. What exactly is he planning? Peyton clasped her hands. "He's reaching out to old city council acquaintances, trying to push an inspection on your facility, hoping to find a reason to shut you down. Also, he's paying hush money to some folks to bury Wayne's prior misdeeds. I overheard him cussing about you, saying you're ungrateful, so he'll show you true power." A cold anger burned in Vincent's chest. "So he's basically blackmailing or bribing officials. Typical Russell. Did you come here risking his wrath to warn me?" She nodded, tears welling. "Yes. I can't watch him abuse you anymore. If needed, I'll testify that Wayne borrowed from you under false pretenses, that Russell's enabling him. I'm done letting them trample you." Vincent felt gratitude swirl alongside sorrow. "I appreciate it, Mom, but you know he'll retaliate against you." Peyton's chin lifted with newfound resolve. "Then let him. He's always overshadowed me, but not anymore. It's time I do what's right." 2 days later, Vincent received a call from a woman named Olivia, someone he'd never met. She introduced herself as the mother of Wayne's child. She'd found his number through a mutual contact, claiming Wayne had once used Vincent's name to secure a loan, then vanished. She sounded desperate. "Please, I'm behind on rent and Wayne's not paying child support. I heard you're in a feud with him. Maybe I can help you if it helps me get justice." Vincent's heart hammered. This was bigger than expected. Another innocent victim of Wayne's manipulations. "I'm sorry you're in this situation," he said carefully. "Yes, I'm going after Wayne, legally. If you're willing to give a statement about how he used my identity or any shared accounts, that might help. In return, my lawyer can guide you to file claims for child support." Olivia's voice trembled with relief. "Thank you. I'll do it. Wayne always bragged about your money, said he had access to your bank. Now he's ghosting me. I want him to face consequences." Vincent assured her that Charlene or Gail would contact her soon. After ending the call, he leaned back, stunned. Wayne's web of deceit was so extensive it was practically a gold mine of evidence for Vincent to use. The idea that Wayne fathered a child and left them financially stranded enraged him. Yet it also strengthened his resolve Wayne needed to be stopped before he ruined more lives. To celebrate a local police K-9 milestone, a big public event was scheduled at the city's main park, showcasing top dog trainers, including Vincent. He planned to attend with Rex, demonstrating advanced obedience. This was an event Wayne had zero reason to attend, or so Vincent thought. On the day of the event, a crowd gathered around a makeshift arena. Vincent was set to present Rex's skill at tackling suspects on command. Serenity joined him for moral support, and some of his staff handled other dogs. As the demonstration began, clapping echoed. Children watched with wide eyes, enthralled by the majestic German shepherd, obeying Vincent's every subtle signal. Mid-presentation, a commotion arose at the edge of the arena. Wayne barged in, half-drunk, bellowing, "Where's my big brother, the dog whisperer?" Tension spiked among the spectators. Vincent's staff tried to intercept Wayne, but he brushed them off, stumbling into the ring. Vincent signaled Rex to stand by. He advanced, jaw set. "Wayne, get out of here! This is a public demonstration. You're trespassing." Wayne sneered, slurring slightly. "Oh, so sorry, Mr. Perfect. Thought I'd check out your show. Tame dog for a tame man." Gasps rippled. Serenity hurried forward but paused, letting Vincent handle it. Vincent felt a surge of rage, but he remembered the crowd, the cameras. If Wayne wanted a spectacle, Vincent wouldn't play into it. He forced composure, speaking calmly into the microphone. "Folks, excuse the interruption. This man is an uninvited guest. Security, please escort him out." Wayne howled with laughter. "Security? I'll show you security." He lunged toward Vincent, but Rex stepped between them, teeth bared, a deep snarl erupting. Wayne froze, fear flickering in his eyes. The crowd tensed, some even filming with their phones. This humiliating scene spelled bad news for Wayne's reputation. Park security rushed in, grabbing Wayne's arms. Wayne spat and cursed. "You think you can ruin me? I'll ruin you, Vincent!" The cameras were rolling. Wayne's meltdown was public, broadcast on local news by that evening, feeding Vincent's silent satisfaction. Let Wayne bury himself. As Wayne was dragged away, Vincent quietly signaled Rex to relax. The dog's tension eased. Applause broke out among the crowd, some appreciating the drama, others commending Vincent's calm. A reporter hurried forward, asking, "Sir, is that man your relative?" Vincent simply said, "He was my brother once," then resumed the show. Seeing Wayne's public meltdown on the news, Russell panicked. He tried to bribe local officials to quell the scandal, but video evidence was unstoppable. Even certain council members loyal to Russell realized they couldn't cover up such a widely witnessed fiasco. Wayne's credibility tanked, rumors circulated about his shady finances, and potential clients began backing out of his construction deals. Russell confronted Peyton in a rage, blaming her for not restraining Vincent. Peyton retorted that Vincent was an adult and she was done stifling truth. She marched out, threatening to publicly align with Vincent's lawsuit if Russell didn't stand down. Furious, Russell seethed in the empty living room, feeling his grip slip on the family narrative. Barely a week after the public meltdown, Madeline found the courage to approach Vincent's canine facility. She arrived in a battered sedan, face gaunt. She told the staff she needed to speak with Vincent privately. They were hesitant, but eventually led her into a small meeting room. Vincent entered, arms folded. "What now, Madeline?" She looked worn, voice subdued. "Wayne's losing everything. He's blamed me for part of it. Said I used him up too. He's turned verbally abusive. I'm frightened. I have nowhere else to go." Vincent's heart was unmoved by pity. "Why come to me? We're done, and you know it." She swallowed. "I'm not asking for a second chance. I just wanted to say I truly regret how I treated you. And to warn you, Wayne's threatening to do something big against you. Something about sabotaging your dog training from the inside or harming your dogs. I overheard him bragging to a friend." A chill ran through Vincent. If Wayne touched his dogs, that would cross an unforgivable line. He forced calm, though. "Thanks for the warning. If you're expecting me to shield you from Wayne's wrath, I can't. You made your bed with him. Now you see his true nature." Her eyes dampened. "Yes, I was an idiot. I see that now. I'll probably leave town soon. Get away from him. Just watch your back, please." Then, trembling, she left. Vincent exhaled, mind spinning. Wayne targeting his dogs? That risk demanded security measures. He'd have to up the facility's protection. The synergy of Wayne's desperation, Russell's meddling, and the looming trial spelled potential violence. Vincent immediately rallied his staff, implementing night shifts for guard duty. He also placed hidden cameras around the kennels. Meanwhile, Gale discovered a brand new twist. Wayne had approached a known ex-con buddy, hinting at paying him to vandalize Vincent's property or harm the dogs. Another shocking confirmation that Wayne was unhinged. On top of that, Gale uncovered partial evidence that Wayne might be forging a fake claim that Vincent stole from their father's estate. She alerted Charlene. who prepared a countersuit if Wayne dared. The tension soared. Serenity checked on Vincent nightly, sensing his stress. "Vincent, be careful. This is crossing into physical danger territory." He gave her a brave but weary nod. "Rex and I are ready. If Wayne tries anything, we'll respond swiftly." As the court date for the divorce and the civil suit neared, Peyton decided to stand as a key witness for Vincent. She mustered courage to speak openly about Wayne's manipulation since childhood, about Russell's indulgence, and the times she personally witnessed Wayne borrowing Vincent's funds behind his back. Peyton's statement hammered nails in Wayne's coffin, giving Charlene ample ammunition to prove Wayne's consistent pattern of deceit. Russell, upon learning Peyton's stance, flew into a rage, threatening to cut her off financially. She calmly informed him she was prepared to live modestly rather than be complicit in covering for Wayne. This showdown fractured the family beyond repair, but Peyton found a strange relief in finally doing the moral thing. Just 3 days before the scheduled trial, Vincent received a mysterious message from a person identifying themselves as Eleanor, an employee in Wayne's construction firm's accounting department. She claimed to have crucial documents showing Wayne laundered money using the company's payroll system. She'd grown disillusioned seeing Wayne treat employees poorly, so now she wanted out. Vincent quickly arranged a covert meeting in a diner on the outskirts of town. Eleanor, timid but resolute, handed him a USB drive full of spreadsheets and internal emails. This proves Wayne systematically inflated project costs and moved the difference into personal accounts, sometimes forging your name. If it surfaces in court, Wayne's done for. Vincent thanked her profusely, promising to keep her identity confidential until absolutely necessary. As he left with a trembling sense of triumph, he realized Wayne's entire scheme was about to blow wide open. The final lead-up to the official divorce hearing exploded with tension from every direction. Vincent, now armed with evidence from Gail and new data from Eleanor, felt confident he could bury Wayne in court. Meanwhile, Madeline had all but disappeared from Wayne's orbit, quietly cooperating with Vincent's attorneys to finalize the uncontested divorce. She had no desire to face the humiliation of a public trial, aware that her adultery with Wayne was a losing card in any spousal support argument. However, Wayne wouldn't go down easily. He tapped into old gangster-like acquaintances, hinting he might sabotage Vincent's K-9 facility or even harm the dogs if no resolution favored him. Russell, refusing to believe Wayne had turned violent, tried once more to push for a private settlement, but Vincent declined. This was personal, and justice demanded a public reckoning. One late afternoon, Charlene called Vincent with urgency. "Vincent, we just found out Wayne has filed a bogus countersuit claiming you psychologically abused him for years and withheld funds. Don't worry, it's flimsy, but we must handle it." Vincent grimaced. "He's truly desperate. Fine. We'll handle it. Thanks for the heads up." That same day, Peyton texted Vincent saying, "I overheard Wayne threatening a break-in at your facility. Please be vigilant. He's unhinged." Vincent immediately dialed Serenity, relaying the threat. She offered to help watch the property overnight, but Vincent insisted on professional security as well. He arranged 2 off-duty cops as extra eyes after hours. It happened 2 nights later, around midnight. The security cameras caught movement along the fence line at Vincent's K-9 facility. A shadow scaled the fence, creeping among the kennel rows. The intruder aimed to open gates, presumably to let dogs loose or harm them. But the presence of on-site guards stymied him. Vincent, alerted by a phone call from the guard, rushed to the site. He arrived in time to see a hooded figure fleeing, leaping over the fence. Vincent recognized the gate. Wayne. The off-duty cops gave chase, but Wayne escaped in a waiting pickup. The entire attempt, though unsuccessful, was captured on camera. The next morning, Vincent shared the footage with Gail, who nodded grimly. Now we have a direct link from Wayne to attempted criminal sabotage. This will weigh heavily against him if you press charges. Press charges was exactly what Vincent decided. He filed a police report, providing the footage and statements from the guards. This time, local authorities couldn't ignore it. Wayne was officially listed as a suspect. The swirl of trouble around Wayne intensified, the upcoming divorce suit, the civil fraud claims, and now criminal charges for attempted sabotage. During all this, Madeline retreated to a small rental apartment in a seedy part of town. Ironically, the same building she'd scorned once. She had parted ways from Wayne completely after seeing his meltdown and hearing about the break-in attempt. She realized Wayne was a ticking time bomb. She texted Vincent occasionally with updates on the uncontested divorce progress, but each message was short, tinged with regret. Madeline discovered her marketing executive job was on the line due to the scandal. Her boss threatened termination if negative publicity continued. She realized Wayne's fiascos threatened her livelihood as well. Late one night, out of desperation, she typed a heartfelt email to Vincent. I know I have no right to ask for your help, but could you at least confirm to my boss that I left you amicably so I don't lose my job? Wayne's meltdown is tarnishing me. I'm terrified. Vincent read the email with a conflicted heart. He felt no love for Madeline, only a sense of pity. He ultimately decided to respond with a simple, I'll state the divorce is uncontested due to irreconcilable differences. That's all. Don't expect more. He pressed send. The next morning, Peyton called with tremulous excitement. Vincent, I was cleaning out Russell's old study and I found a locked drawer. Inside, there's a legal document referencing Wayne's birth certificate. It suggests Wayne might not be fully legitimate under Dad's name, some discrepancy about paternal rights. I can't decipher it all, but it looks big. Vincent froze. Another massive twist. Mom, can you send me pictures of those documents? She agreed, scanning them discreetly. The partial text implied that Russell wasn't Wayne's biological father, or at least there was doubt. This might unravel decades of illusions, explaining some of Russell's guilt-laden favoritism. When the images arrived, Vincent forwarded them to Charlene. She examined them, concluding it meant Wayne's legal father was uncertain, and Russell had possibly faked paternity to preserve family image. If Wayne was never legitimately a Whittaker, it might complicate inheritance or estate claims. Charlene said, This is dynamite if Wayne or Russell tries to claim any family-based rights against you. It also reveals the hypocrisy of Russell always siding with Wayne. Vincent found it surreal. Not only had Wayne stolen his wife, but the entire notion of Wayne being his brother might be questionable. The betrayal felt less personal, ironically, but the manipulations deeper. He breathed heavily, deciding not to reveal this card immediately. He wanted the perfect moment in court to detonate that bombshell. In a bizarre turn, a few days before the scheduled final hearing, Wayne was rushed to the hospital after collapsing at a bar. Rumors flew that stress, heavy drinking, and perhaps drug use led him to a near overdose. Russell, panicked, tried to hush it up. Peyton gleaned the hospital staff's private notes. Wayne had tested positive for cocaine, with dangerously high blood pressure. When Vincent heard, he felt little sympathy but recognized this was a new shift in power. Wayne's meltdown had reached self-destructive heights. With Wayne bedridden and half-lucid, the upcoming hearing might be delayed, or Wayne might attempt to garner pity. Charlene advised, we can still push forward. Even if Wayne's in the hospital, his lawyer can represent him. I say we proceed. Don't let them buy time. Vincent agreed. Yes, Absolutely. Enough delays. Madeline, worried about Wayne's condition, yet refusing to see him, ironically reached out to Vincent once more. She asked if they could meet at a neutral coffee shop to finalize some divorce details. Vincent complied, hoping it'd accelerate the closure. They met in a quiet corner. Madeline looked frail, wearing simpler clothes than before, her once polished nails chipped. She gazed at him with watery eyes. "Vincent, I got word Wayne's in the hospital. I'm sorry for everything. I never meant for you to endure so much heartbreak. I was stupid." Vincent's expression remained guarded. "I accept your apology, but that doesn't change what happened. Our divorce finalizes soon. I assume you'll sign whatever Charlene sends next?" Madeline nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I will. I want no further fight. Just a clean break." She glanced at the battered phone in her hand. "I should tell you Wayne's fathered a child with someone else. She reached out to me in panic, says Wayne's refused child support." Vincent nodded, not revealing he already knew. "Yes, I'm aware. Another reason I can't muster pity for him. He's beyond redemption in my eyes." She sighed. "I see that now. For what it's worth, I hope you find happiness after all this. You deserve someone who respects you." He gave a slight nod, concluding the meeting with minimal warmth. "I appreciate the sentiment. Take care, Madeline." And that was that. Their final conversation. Likely. A quiet, hollow end to a once promising marriage. At last, the day of the combined hearing arrived. The divorce finalization, plus civil suits addressing Wayne's fraud and sabotage attempt. The entire Whitaker clan was summoned, along with multiple witnesses. Peyton stood ready to testify. Russell, fuming, had hired an expensive lawyer to defend Wayne, but with Wayne's meltdown and hospital stay, the lawyer had shaky ground. Charlene prepped Vincent in a small side room. "We have the sabotage footage, the bar video where Wayne boasted about taking your wife and the hush money logs from that ex and from Olivia. Also, Peyton's ready to testify about the fraudulent borrowings. This is overwhelming evidence." Vincent exhaled, nerves taut. "Good. Let's end this once and for all." When the courtroom doors opened, they filed in. Wayne appeared pale, haunted, wearing a bandage on his arm, presumably from an IV drip. Russell flanked him, scowling. Madeline slipped in quietly, separate from Wayne, eyes low. The judge, an older woman with a stern demeanor, banged her gavel and commenced proceedings. Charlene stood, delivering a concise, scathing summary of Wayne's betrayal, theft, sabotage, and collusion with Madeline. She played the video from the police K-9 event, showing Wayne's drunken intrusion. Then the bar footage of him bragging about sleeping with Vincent's wife. The hush fell thick in the courtroom as the video displayed Wayne's voice slurring. "Vincent's woman? She's in my bed now, ha-ha. That dope never suspected it." Next came Peyton's statement, her voice shaking as she recounted how Wayne had repeatedly borrowed money from Vincent's accounts with Russell's knowledge. She also revealed how Russell threatened her if she opposed Wayne. Russell fumed in his seat, but with the evidence stacked, there was little he could do. Madeline's uncontested divorce filing was reviewed. She confirmed her affair with Wayne, that Vincent was not at fault, and she accepted receiving zero spousal support per the signed agreement. The judge solemnly concluded the divorce was valid under fault-based grounds adultery and that Vincent retained his assets. Then came the civil side, Wayne's sabotage attempt, confirmed by security footage of him climbing the fence. The judge watched, expression unreadable, as Wayne's lawyer tried to spin it as drunken misunderstanding. Unconvinced, the judge set a further hearing for that criminal aspect, but in the realm of civil damages, Wayne faced heavy restitution. Finally, Charlene dropped a quieter bombshell. the discovered documents indicating Wayne's questionable paternity. She hinted it might be relevant if Wayne tried to claim inheritance from the Whitaker estate. Wayne's face drained of color. Russell sputtered. The judge raised an eyebrow. I'll note this. Though it's outside the direct scope, we can address estate or inheritance claims if Wayne attempts them. In the end, the judge granted Vincent the right to collect damages from Wayne for the sabotage attempt, the stolen hush money, plus legal fees. Wayne would likely face criminal charges soon. The divorce ended swiftly, awarding Madeline no compensation beyond personal items. Exiting the courtroom, Vincent felt a profound sense of relief. Wayne lurched after him in the hallway, half livid, half desperate. "Vincent, wait," he croaked. "You can't do this, man. We're brothers." Vincent turned, meeting Wayne's eyes coldly. "Were we, really? You lost the right to call me brother the moment you crawled into Madeline's bed, and that's on top of your lying, stealing, everything else. You reap what you sow." Wayne's face twisted, a cocktail of rage and misery. Dad, he said he'd fix it, but now with the fatherhood question, they're all turning on me. Vincent shrugged. "Sounds like you need to find who your real father is. Not my concern anymore." Then he walked away, leaving Wayne leaning against the corridor wall in despair. In the aftermath, the courthouse emptied. Russell fumed, refusing to meet Vincent's gaze. Peyton discreetly hugged Vincent, murmuring, "I'm proud of you, son," tears in her eyes. He nodded, thankful for her belated support. Gail nodded in satisfaction, promising to finalize any loose ends regarding Wayne's attempted break-in charges. Charlene congratulated him on a major victory, shaking his hand. Madeline slipped away, having lost everything. She offered Vincent a final, hollow apology, which he received with a curt nod. She'd likely vanish from his life for good, maybe returning to marketing in another city. Vincent felt no triumph in seeing her downfall, just a numb acceptance that it was the natural consequence of her choices. Later that evening, Vincent found himself in the quiet corner of Serenity's living room, recounting the day's events. She listened, face shining with relief. "So you're free? You've won the divorce, the suits? Wayne's debt and possible jail time is practically guaranteed." Vincent let out a long breath. "Yes, that war is basically won. But it was ugly. No winners, just relief it's done. My father still hates me. Wayne might end up behind bars, Madeline's destroyed. But maybe it needed to happen." Serenity placed a warm hand on his. "You did what was necessary, Vincent. That matters." He locked eyes with her, emotions swirling. The tension of recent weeks, the heartbreak and fury, all culminating in a sense of new beginnings. Rex lay dozing at their feet, no longer bristling with worry. For the first time in ages, Vincent felt the heaviness lift. Perhaps he had room for something resembling peace. The day after the court's decision, the local news outlets buzzed with Wayne's meltdown footage from the K9 event, plus rumors of the divorce verdict. Though not everyone recognized him, enough acquaintances from Vincent's community did, ensuring Wayne's name was mud among potential clients. Meanwhile, Russell's attempts to salvage Wayne's business flopped. Subcontractors demanded immediate payment, refusing to extend credit. Gossip about Wayne's fatherhood scandal and shady finances spread like wildfire. Vincent awoke that morning to a string of congratulatory messages from supporters in the police K9 circles, praising his calm in the face of a messy public spat. He also found a heartfelt voicemail from Peyton, who sounded lighter than before, praising him for standing his ground. She even mentioned that Russell was ignoring her now, but she didn't care. Her conscience was clear. At his K9 facility, Vincent oversaw normal training sessions. For the first time in weeks, he performed them with an unburdened mind. The dogs responded eagerly, reflecting their handler's lifted spirit. Even his staff sensed the shift. "Boss," one of them said, "you look like you got a huge weight off your shoulders." Vincent simply nodded, an understated grin. "Sure feels that way." He planned to keep security measures in place for a while, in case Wayne tried another sabotage. But he suspected Wayne lacked the nerve after the humiliations inflicted on him. Across town, Wayne's downward spiral accelerated. With his credit lines slashed, clients pulling out, and the specter of looming criminal charges for forging Vincent's name, Wayne found himself cornered. He tried calling Russell for bailout money, but Russell refused to pour more capital into a sinking ship. Indeed, the fiasco with Wayne's questionable paternity left Russell uncertain about continuing to support a son who might not be his. That left Wayne practically alone, stewing in bitterness. Over a single weekend, Wayne lost his biggest contract, the city building project, when the city board discovered the scandaladen videos. Wayne's phone beeped incessantly with demands from lenders, culminating in the threat of repossessing his equipment. In desperation, Wayne contacted Madeline, half expecting her to join him in taking down Vincent, but she refused. "I'm done with your drama, Wayne. You nearly destroyed me too. I'm trying to find a new job. Leave me alone." Furious, he realized the final threads of support had snapped. A few days later, Russell unexpectedly parked outside Vincent's K9 facility. Vincent glimpsed him from the office window, feeling a swirl of annoyance and curiosity. He stepped outside with Rex at his side, meeting Russell halfway in the yard. Russell cleared his throat, eyes darting. "Vincent, we need to talk. This has gotten out of hand. Wayne's near ruin. My name is dragged in the mud. Let's find a private settlement. Drop the fraud suits. Calm the city. I'll pay you some restitution, maybe half. Just don't push Wayne into jail." Vincent stared, heart pounding. "Dad, you think money alone can fix the betrayal, the sabotage attempts, the manipulations?" Russell scowled. "I'm offering a compromise. Wayne's meltdown was partly your fault, parading him publicly. Let's end it quietly." Vincent shook his head, marveling at the continued favoritism. A meltdown he chose. Betraying me was his choice. I didn't force him to do anything. Now he faces consequences. I see no reason to help him. Russell's voice rose. "He's your brother." Vincent cut him off, tone cold. "If he ever was, that bond died the day he slept with Madeline. Or earlier. Not to mention the paternity question. Are we even truly brothers?" A flicker of alarm crossed Russell's face. "How did you—" Then he realized. "So you found that document. Damn Peyton meddling in my study. Listen, that was a messy chapter, but I raised Wayne as my own. Doesn't that count for something?" Vincent's lip curled. "I don't care. If he's your son or not, he destroyed me. And you supported him every step. Our relationship is done." Russell drew himself up, voice trembling with either rage or old age. "All right, be that way. Don't come crying if you regret it. I tried to salvage family peace." Vincent shrugged, unyielding. "I have peace now that I stand for what's right. Good day, Dad." He turned on his heel, letting Rex follow. Russell cursed under his breath, returning to his car. The father left, resigned to watch Wayne's downfall from the sidelines. That evening, Vincent invited Serenity to share dinner at a local diner, feeling the need to express gratitude. Over casual burgers and fries, they talked about the final steps in the lawsuit, the secure future of the K9 facility, and Wayne's near-certain downfall. Serenity offered a gentle smile. "You look more relaxed these days. I can see it in your posture." Vincent nodded. "I do feel freer. I never realized how much stress Wayne, Russell, and Madeline inflicted on me. Now I'm tasting independence. The divorce is basically done. My business is safe. Wayne's likely to be indicted or bankrupt. I'm just at peace." Serenity's eyes shone. "That's all I ever wanted for you. And if you need a friend or partner in any next step, I'm here." A subtle note in her voice suggested deeper feelings. Vincent recognized it, feeling warmth flicker inside him, but they had time to figure that out. First, he had to close this chapter of revenge and healing. He reached across, briefly squeezing her hand. "Thank you for standing by me. Once the final hearing is over, maybe we can talk about the future like an actual future, not just survival mode." She blushed slightly, nodding. 2 nights later, well after dark, Vincent's facility was quiet. He was in the main kennel building finishing a nightly check. The air smelled of fresh hay and the faint musk of dogs. Suddenly, the alarm system beeped. The security cameras showed an intruder at the side fence. Vincent sprinted to the yard with a flashlight. He recognized Wayne's silhouette again, this time brandishing a crowbar or metal pipe. The man was half-crazed, presumably drunk or desperate, prying at the fence. Another sabotage attempt or perhaps a final act of vengeance. Vincent shouted, "Wayne, get away! I'll call the cops!" Wayne snarled, "Screw you!" swinging the metal bar at the fence. Sparks flew as he tried to break the lock. Some dogs barked wildly. Rex rushed forth, teeth bared. Wayne turned that bar toward Rex, eyes wild. Vincent's heart hammered. If Wayne struck Rex, Vincent would not hesitate to defend. Summoning all the commands he'd trained, Vincent ordered, "Rex, stand by." The dog bristled, growling but not lunging. Wayne raised the bar overhead, shouting, "You took everything from me, my dignity, my deals, my father's support." He swung downward. Vincent lunged, tackling Wayne from the side. They crashed to the ground, the bar clattering away. Wayne thrashed, cursing, "I'll kill that dog if I have to." Vincent pinned Wayne's arm. "Over my dead body." The raw fury in Vincent's voice surprised even himself. He signaled Rex with a subtle hand gesture. The dog moved in, teeth inches from Wayne's face, menacing. Wayne froze in terror. In that moment, headlights flooded the yard Serenity's car. She jumped out, phone in hand, already calling 911. Wayne realized he was cornered. He whined, "Let me go, Vincent. Damn it, I'll leave, okay?" Vincent's chest heaved. Every muscle in his body wanted to crush Wayne, but he forced discipline. With a final yank, he wrenched Wayne upright, shoving him against the fence. "If you come near my dogs or me again, you won't walk away next time." Cops arrived swiftly, guns drawn, ordering Wayne to freeze. Wayne, panting, glared at Vincent. He allowed the officers to cuff him, though he mumbled half-coherent threats. One officer recognized Wayne from the sabotage incident. "So you're at it again, huh? This time it's attempted assault with a deadly weapon." Another charge for Wayne's record. As the cops led Wayne away, Vincent sagged, relief mixing with disgust. Wayne's meltdown had reached the violent climax. Serenity approached, trembling from adrenaline. She took in the damaged fence, the scattered bar, Wayne's cursing in the back of the squad car. "Thank God you're all right," she breathed. Vincent patted Rex's head. The dog licked his hand, tail wagging with a job well done. "Rex saved me from worse, or maybe saved Wayne from me." He gave Serenity a small, grim smile. "This must be the last time Wayne tries anything. The law will put him away now." She nodded, hugging him spontaneously. "You did it. You stood strong, overcame every threat." He felt the closeness, letting a wave of relief wash over him. The final confrontation was done. The morning after Wayne's arrest, Charlene confirmed Wayne now faced charges for assault with a deadly weapon, attempted property damage, plus the earlier sabotage allegations. Bail was high. With Wayne's finances in ruins, it was doubtful he could post it. Russell, humiliated, might not pay either, especially uncertain if Wayne was truly his biological son. This spelled a lengthy jail stay for Wayne while awaiting trial. Madeline, learning of Wayne's arrest, called Vincent one last time, not for sympathy, but to confirm she wanted no part in defending Wayne. She repeated she would sign the uncontested divorce settlement immediately, disclaiming any property claim. Vincent assured her the papers were ready. They set a date the next week to finalize it before a judge, making the marriage's end official. As for Russell, he sank into reclusiveness, shamed by the fiasco, with locals whispering about how his favored child turned out. Peyton quietly moved to a smaller house, away from Russell's dominating presence. She told Vincent, "Maybe we can rebuild our relationship on honest terms, son. I'm sorry it took me this long." Vincent responded with cautious acceptance. In just a short span, Vincent's world had flipped, unveiling twist after twist. Madeline's affair with Wayne sparked the initial betrayal. Russell's blatant favoritism turned out to be fueled by manipulative guilt. Financial documents revealed Wayne's deeper fraud, forging Vincent's name for hush money. Peyton's surprising decision to stand with Vincent, the secret paternity suspicion that Wayne might not be Russell's son. Wayne's meltdown at the K9 event, publicly humiliating himself. The ex of Wayne, Olivia, emerging with child support claims. The sabotage attempt on Vincent's facility, caught on camera. Wayne's final violent ambush with a crowbar, ending in his arrest. Madeline's unconditional surrender in the divorce, renouncing all claims. Every twist further validated Vincent's stance. He was no longer the docile man overshadowed by Wayne or ridiculed by a bored wife. He'd stood firm, letting cunning, not mere rage, shape his revenge. It was, as Serenity once put it, the victory of a good man who refused to be stepped on. After Wayne's arrest, local chatter reached a crescendo. "Vincent's brother is behind bars," people whispered. Some sympathized with Vincent, praising his calm approach. Others gossiped about the broken Whitaker family. Vincent tried not to dwell on it. He poured focus into his K9 business, receiving more requests from police departments that respected his sense of discipline. He finalized the divorce with Madeline in a short hearing. She sat across him in the courthouse, eyes downcast, tears forming as the judge declared them legally separated, awarding Vincent the house, if he wanted it, all his business assets, and no spousal support to Madeline. She only left with her personal belongings. She half whispered, "Good luck, Vincent," but he only nodded politely, finalizing that chapter. Stepping out of the courthouse, Charlene offered a handshake. "Congratulations, you're free. You overcame it all." Vincent nodded, voice subdued. "Thanks. Now I can move on." She gave a smile. "I'll keep you posted about Wayne's criminal case, but I suspect a plea deal or a conviction soon." Vincent's lips pursed. Let the justice system do its thing. He found himself longing not for celebration, but for the simple quiet of a future unburdened by betrayal. Maybe he'd invite Serenity to dinner, perhaps plan a small training expo with his K9 team. Life, after all, could be built anew. Weeks rolled by. Wayne, languishing in jail awaiting trial, faced bleak prospects: no money for top-notch lawyers, no father's bail check, no ally in Madeline. Russell retreated into bitterness, rarely leaving his home. Peyton, feeling guilt for years of passivity, took small steps to reconcile with Vincent on a personal level, occasionally meeting him for coffee to talk about old times and new hopes. Serenity, having stood by Vincent's side, became an increasingly significant presence in his life. They spent evenings chatting on her porch, discussing everything from business expansions to personal dreams. For the first time, Vincent allowed himself to see her not just as a supportive friend, but as a potential romantic partner. Yet they both tread carefully, mindful of how fresh his wounds were. With his mind free of the family crisis, Vincent directed his attention fully to his K-9 enterprise. He secured a major contract to train an entire city's police dog squad, culminating in a large demonstration event. Government officials recognized his unwavering integrity, especially after Wayne's sabotage attempt had garnered local sympathy for Vincent. At the demonstration, a crowd of city officials and police captains watched in rapt attention as Vincent commanded 6 highly disciplined German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois to perform coordinated maneuvers, search, track, suspect apprehension. The thunder of applause at the end roared like catharsis for Vincent. He cast a glance across the crowd, noticing Serenity filming on her phone, smiling with pride. A hint of hope flickered in his chest. Maybe this was the path to closure. After the show, a city councilman approached him. "We're impressed, Mr. Whitaker. Sorry to hear about the personal strife, but you carried yourself well. We look forward to more contracts." Vincent thanked him, internalizing the gratifying sense of professional vindication. Wayne's threats had amounted to nothing. Eventually, Wayne's day in criminal court arrived. Vincent attended, mainly to see justice served. The charges included attempted sabotage, assault with a weapon, and forging Vincent's signature for financial gains. Peyton testified about Wayne's pattern of deception. Madeline testified about Wayne's manipulations, clarifying she was coerced into forging some documents. The judge weighed it all. Vincent watched from the gallery as Wayne, clad in an ill-fitting suit, looked gaunt and hollow. Gone was the cocky smirk. He occasionally glared at Vincent, but more with a desperate fear than arrogance. The prosecution laid out the sabotage footage, the crowbar incident, the fiasco at the K-9 event. Wayne's feeble defense of being drunk and stressed fell flat. The verdict, pronounced after 2 days of arguments, was guilty on multiple counts, though the exact sentencing was set for later. Wayne's face crumpled. Russell, in the back row, bowed his head. Peyton exhaled a silent prayer. Vincent felt no triumph, only a solemn sense that justice had been done. A week after Wayne's conviction, Russell faced a separate blow. The estate records revealed that Wayne truly wasn't biologically his. Peyton's quiet confessions and the old legal documents confirmed the father might have been an old fling Peyton had before marriage. This revelation humiliated Russell, flipping his entire narrative of "my beloved Wayne." Word leaked. Family friends whispered about how Russell's favorite son might not be his son at all. The shame forced Russell into near seclusion. Peyton, freed from that charade, decided to file for divorce, too. She told Vincent in a trembling voice, "I can't stay with him after all he's done. I might live alone, but it's better than living a lie." Vincent supported her emotionally, feeling a sense of cyclical justice. Amid all this legal carnage, Madeline finalized the last divorce formalities with Vincent. She never contested anything in the end, abiding by the previously signed uncontested settlement. With no money, no stable job, she announced she'd move out of state to find new opportunities, leaving behind the scandal. She apologized once more to Vincent, face streaked with tears. He accepted her apology curtly. "I hope you find your path," he said simply, not unkindly but resolute. She nodded, tears dropping, turning away. That was the last he'd see of her. The woman who once shared his bed was now just a passing figure in his memory, cautionary evidence of betrayal. Only one small hearing remained, the official financial restitution from Wayne to Vincent, plus the sentencing. Wayne, sporting a resigned expression, stood next to a public defender. The judge declared Wayne owed Vincent a large sum in damages, beyond Wayne's current means. He was effectively bankrupt, facing prison time. Vincent watched silently. Perhaps in a different timeline he'd have felt pity for Wayne as a misguided younger brother. But after the pain inflicted, He simply saw it as the rightful outcome. Wayne, head bowed, barely looked at Vincent. Maybe regret flickered in Wayne's eyes, or maybe it was just bitterness that he lost the game. The judge hammered the gavel. Court adjourned. Wayne was led away in handcuffs, with Russell nowhere to be seen, Peyton absent for this portion, not wishing to watch. Serenity, standing behind Vincent, quietly touched his shoulder. "It's done," she whispered. Vincent exhaled deeply, feeling an odd hollowness. "It's done," he echoed. Not a happy moment. More relief. He turned to see Charlene, who gave him a firm handshake. "Take care, Vincent. You did the right thing." He nodded, then led Serenity out. Outside, the sun glared bright, as if signifying the start of a new chapter in Vincent's life. Back in the truck, Vincent let out a long sigh. "I guess that's everything. Wayne's done, Madeline's gone, Russell's humiliated, Peyton's free, and what am I?" Serenity smiled softly, eyes reflecting fondness. "You're a man who stood up for himself, overcame betrayal, and now has the entire future open. Maybe we can figure out that future together if you'd like." Vincent's heart fluttered. He realized how throughout this ordeal, Serenity had been unwavering. "I'd like that," he replied, his voice a bit unsteady. They shared a warm look, a silent promise, to explore deeper feelings without the shadows of treachery looming. Days after Wayne's sentencing, Vincent received an unexpected letter from Madeline, postmarked from out of state. Surprised, he opened it to find a brief note. "Vincent, I've left town. I wanted to reveal one last truth. Wayne told me he targeted me specifically to get revenge on you. He always hated how you overshadowed him. This affair was partly his twisted payback. I was stupid to fall for it. I thought you should know. Maybe it doesn't matter now. But it clarifies, he never truly loved me. I hope you find someone who loves you genuinely." Madeline Vincent folded the note quietly. It confirmed what he'd already suspected. Wayne's entire affair was a vindictive strike, not genuine passion. He felt a small wave of pity for Madeline, manipulated by Wayne's vendetta. But the final confession only strengthened Vincent's sense that justice had been served. He burned the letter in a small metal bin, letting the ashes swirl. This chapter was over. As the dust settled, Vincent found himself in a calmer reality. Russell retreated from public life in shame, Wayne faced prison, and Peyton quietly pursued a simpler existence. Madeline vanished from town. Vincent continued growing his K-9 training empire, forging new contracts with counties and state agencies. His reputation soared, ironically boosted by the public's respect for how he handled personal betrayal with measured dignity. In the final quiet scene of this part, Vincent visited the old Whitaker house, the place he once shared with Madeline just to retrieve any leftover belongings. He walked through echoing corridors, memories swirling. He found a few photo frames, one capturing him with Rex as a pup, wearing wide smiles. Another from his wedding day to Madeline, which he placed face down. He took only the photos that mattered, the ones reflecting his own growth, not illusions. He locked the door behind him, possibly for the last time. Outside, Serenity waited in her car, waving. He climbed in, and they drove away, leaving the dark silhouette of that house behind forever. This part ended with the sense that while Vincent's vengeance had concluded, the next phase of his personal and emotional rebuilding was just beginning. A hazy sun filtered through the windows of Serenity's living room, gilding the dust motes in a warm glow. Vincent stood by the mantel, absently stroking Rex's ears. It had been 2 weeks since Wayne's sentencing, 2 weeks since the twisted storm of betrayal, sabotage, and legal battles found some semblance of resolution. Yet, despite the calm, Vincent felt a strange restlessness, as though there was an epilogue of unfinished business swirling around him. Serenity approached from behind, setting 2 steaming mugs of coffee on the side table. "You look 1,000 miles away," she said softly, leaning against the couch. "Penny for your thoughts?" Vincent turned, offering a tentative smile, just letting it sink in. For so long, my life revolved around that fiasco with Wayne and Madeline. Now it's quiet, peaceful, but odd. She nodded. It's typical after a storm. Tranquility can feel unfamiliar. Her eyes flicked toward the crate of old photos Vincent had brought from his family's house. "Have you decided what to do with all these reminders?" He sighed. "I might keep a few that show the good times. My old K-9 achievements. Pictures with Peyton. As for anything with Wayne or Madeline, probably trash them." There was no bitterness in his voice, just acceptance. He crouched, rummaging through the crate. A small Polaroid caught his eye, him as a teenager hugging a scruffy puppy, his first dog. Wayne, younger, hovered in the background, smirking. Vincent suppressed a shiver. Even back then, he was always overshadowing me in Dad's eyes. Serenity crossed over, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. "You can let it go now, you know. They can't hurt you anymore." He nodded, stowing the Polaroid aside. "I know. It's just an old habit looking over my shoulder, half expecting them to barge in. But Wayne's behind bars. Madeline's relocated, Russell's well sulking in his old house." She studied him. "What about Peyton? She texted me earlier, said she'd love to see you again. She's leaving Russell, right?" "Yeah. She's looking for a small condo. I might help her financially if she needs it. She stood up for me in court, I can't forget that." Serenity's lips curved in approval. "That's gracious. You're a better man than most, Vincent." Silence stretched between them, warm and laden with unspoken possibilities. Finally, Vincent rose. "I'm heading to the facility. We have a big demonstration next week, a multi-department K-9 expo. You free to come watch?" She brightened. "Absolutely. Count me in." He smiled. With each day, the idea of a deeper relationship with Serenity felt more natural. But neither wanted to rush. They'd find their rhythm in time. At the old Whitaker family home, Peyton packed her belongings into medium-sized boxes, each labeled with shaky handwriting. She paused over a framed portrait of a younger Russell, Wayne, and Vincent. Wayne, about 8, was all swagger, while Vincent, at 13, had an earnest grin. Rex, nowhere in sight yet. She gently traced a finger across Vincent's face, sorrow swirling within her. "I'm sorry," she whispered to the empty room. For all the years she'd let Russell bully him into second place. Russell shuffled in, leaning heavily on his cane, one that had become necessary after a minor stroke triggered by the family meltdown. His expression was stony. "So you're really leaving?" Peyton stiffened. "Yes, Russell. I'm done pretending everything's fine when it's not. Wayne's fiasco was the last straw." He scowled. "And you side with Vincent, who started all this?" She turned, anger flashing. "He didn't start anything, Russell. Wayne did, betraying his own brother. You refused to see it. Now Wayne's in prison, you blame Vincent. I can't stomach it anymore." Russell's shoulders slumped. "Fine, go then. Don't expect me to finance your new life." Peyton mustered a small, brave smile. "I don't need your money. Vincent offered to help if I need it, but I'll manage. Goodbye, Russell." She hefted a box and walked out, heart pounding yet strangely relieved. She was stepping into the unknown, but it felt more honest than a lifetime under Russell's toxic shadow. 3 days later, Vincent arrived at the bustling expo center downtown, where the multi-department K9 event had been relocated for a bigger audience. Police, sheriffs, and military dog handlers from around the state convened for workshops, seminars, and public demonstrations. The city council had extended a formal invitation to Vincent, praising his facility's top-tier training. He set up a demonstration booth with his staff, showcasing dogs that once faced Wayne's sabotage attempts. Now they stood poised and well-trained, living proof of Vincent's resilience. The crowd milled about, children squealing at the sight of heroic canines, officers complimenting Vincent's methods. Serenity glided in wearing a casual blouse and jeans, bright-eyed. "This is huge," she breathed, scanning the throngs of dog lovers and uniformed personnel. "I remember a time you had only 2 dogs and big dreams. Look at you now." Vincent felt a surge of pride. "It's surreal. A few months ago, I was stuck in a nightmare of betrayal. Today, I'm recognized citywide as the go-to K9 expert. Life is better." She squeezed his hand lightly. "You earned every bit of it." One of the city officials approached, beaming at Vincent. "We have a surprise recognition for you on stage at noon, Mr. Whitaker. Be ready." Then he hustled off. Vincent shot Serenity a questioning glance, who only shrugged with a playful grin. "Guess your fame soared after the fiasco. The city sees you as a model of courage or something." Noon arrived. Vincent was ushered to a small stage, flanked by city council members. The official from earlier spoke into a mic. "Today, we'd like to honor a local hero who demonstrated integrity, perseverance, and exemplary dog training skill, even under personal turmoil. We present Vincent Whitaker with the City Service Merit Award." Applause thundered. Rex stood at Vincent's side, tail wagging. Cameras flashed. Vincent accepted the plaque, heart full. Not from vanity, but from relief that his life had soared above the ashes Wayne tried to bury him in. After the ceremony, Vincent checked his phone. One missed call from an unknown number, plus a voicemail. He played it, ears pricking at Madeline's voice. "Vincent, it's me. I know I said I left town, but I'm passing through once more. I can't move on until I see you in person for closure. Just 5 minutes, please." Her voice trembled with an odd sincerity. Vincent frowned, uncertain. Serenity, noticing his expression, asked, "What's wrong?" He replayed the gist, concluding with a sigh. "She wants a final face-to-face. Probably wants to unburden her guilt or something." Serenity gently offered, "If you need closure, do it. But be careful. She can't manipulate you anymore, right?" He nodded. "Right. I'll meet her in public for 5 minutes, no more." He texted back an acknowledgement, arranging a coffee shop near the expo center. That afternoon, as the expo buzz continued, Vincent slipped away to the designated cafe. He found Madeline seated in a corner booth, looking subdued, hair pulled back in an uncharacteristically simple style. She waved, motioning him over. He sat down, not removing his jacket. "You said 5 minutes?" She nodded, swallowing. "Yes, I won't keep you. I wanted to say I truly regret it all. Wayne exploited my boredom, my insecurities. I let him, and I destroyed us. I see your success now, how the city honors you. You deserve that. You always deserved better than me." Vincent felt no anger, only a quiet sense of finality. "Thank you for acknowledging that, Madeline. I wish you well in whatever new life you build." Madeline blinked tears. "I applied for a marketing job in another state, probably heading there next week. I guess I just needed to see you, to apologize sincerely, that's all." He nodded. "Apology accepted. We both move on." For a moment a hush stretched, a fleeting reflection of what they once had, illusions of love, overshadowed by her restlessness. Now it was a distant memory. She stood, shoulders trembling. "Goodbye, Vincent." Without waiting for a response, she left. He watched her slip out the door, a swirl of unresolved sadness lingering. But he exhaled and let it fade away. She was free to find her path, as he was free to embrace his. In a sweet twist, a few days later, Peyton invited Vincent to her new condo for a small housewarming. He arrived with a modest gift basket. "Mom, you sure you're okay living alone?" he asked gently, scanning the cozy living room, boxes half unpacked. She nodded, teary-eyed. "I'm better than okay, son. For the first time, I'm living on my terms, not Russell's. I might get a part-time job at the library, keep busy." Vincent smiled, hugging her. "I'm proud of you. I never realized how trapped you felt." She wiped her tears. "I allowed it for too long. But seeing you stand up to Wayne and Dad reminded me I could do the same. Thank you." They shared a quiet meal, mother and son mending the bond that had been frayed by years of neglect. Peyton insisted she'd love to meet Serenity soon. Vincent chuckled. "One day, I guess we're seeing each other in a new light, but we're not rushing." Peyton beamed, motherly hope shining in her eyes. "She's good for you, Vincent." On an otherwise calm morning, Vincent received a letter from Wayne, marked with the county jail's return address. Torn between curiosity and revulsion, Vincent opened it. The messy handwriting read, "Vincent, I know I messed up. I'm stuck in here for at least a year, maybe more. All deals collapsed. Dad won't pay my bail. Mom deserted me too, apparently. I guess you got what you wanted, huh? Congrats. But damn it, I never wanted to be overshadowed. You always had it all together, your fancy dog training, your perfect posture. Dad admired me, but only because I made noise. Mom liked you better, quietly. I was jealous, I did petty things. But sleeping with Madeline, that was my ultimate screw you. I didn't think it'd lead here. If you have any shred of mercy, maybe help me get out earlier. Or help me find a lawyer. But I guess that's too much to ask after all I did." Wayne Vincent's hands shook, reading the final lines. He felt no triumph. If anything, it was a bittersweet confirmation that Wayne's motives were pure envy from the start. He folded the letter. After a moment's thought, he decided. No response. Wayne needed to face the consequences alone. The next highlight on Vincent's calendar was the annual National Police K-9 competition, a prestigious event in which top trainers from across the country competed. Vincent had pre-qualified months ago with Rex. Now, with the personal drama behind him, he felt fully ready to represent his city. He invited Serenity to come along as a special guest. She accepted, excited to see him and Rex in action on a grand stage. The competition took place at a major stadium, drawing thousands of spectators, from law enforcement pros to curious families. Vincent arrived early, greeting acquaintances who only heard vague rumors about his personal turmoil. He shrugged off questions, focusing on his demonstration. The air buzzed with anticipation. During the quarterfinal stage, Vincent guided Rex through an obstacle course that tested agility, obedience, and suspect apprehension. The synergy between them was mesmerizing. Rex flew over hurdles, weaved through tunnels, then responded to Vincent's subtle hand signals to subdue a suspect decoy gently yet firmly. The crowd erupted in cheers. Serenity, in the stands, beamed with pride. In the semifinals, they faced a complex scent detection challenge. Rex performed brilliantly, sniffing out contraband hidden in a labyrinth of boxes. Their near-flawless time advanced them to the finals. By the time late afternoon rolled around, Vincent found himself among the last two competitors. The final round was a combination of advanced tracking and suspect confrontation. A hush fell over the stadium as each trainer took turns. Vincent stood at the starting line, heart pounding but mind razor-sharp. He looked down at Rex. The dog's amber eyes radiated loyalty. He recalled the nights they spent training while Madeline flirted with Wayne behind his back, how that loyalty from Rex never wavered. A surge of gratitude fueled him. "Let's do this, buddy," he whispered. They commenced. Rex raced forward, nose to the ground, following a meticulously laid scent trail. They overcame tricky red herrings, ignoring false leads. In the final confrontation, a decoy suspect brandished a baton, trying to simulate an attack. Rex, in perfect unison with Vincent's commands, disarmed the decoy with minimal force, the hallmark of elite K-9 training. The stadium roared as the announcer declared their time, the best of the event. The awarding ceremony crowned Vincent and Rex as champions, the National Police K-9 competition winners. Applause thundered. Vincent accepted the trophy, voice thick with emotion. He gave a short speech, thanking his staff, the city, and yes, even acknowledging the adversity that spurred him to refine his methods. The crowd recognized his humility, bursting into applause again. Afterwards, Serenity rushed to hug him backstage, eyes brimming with tears. "I knew you'd do it. This is your moment, Vince. You overcame everything." He laughed softly, holding the trophy. "I guess Wayne's fiasco forced me to become even better. How's that for irony?" They shared a tender look, the quiet understanding that from shattered trust, he'd built a new foundation. She offered a gentle kiss on his cheek, a promise that they had a future worth exploring. That night, they returned to the quiet of Serenity's home, the trophy sitting on the coffee table like a testament to resilience. The glow of the lamp cast shadows on the wall as they sipped celebratory wine. Silence wrapped around them, warm and intimate. Finally, Serenity leaned closer. "Vincent, I don't want to rush anything, but we're heading in that direction, aren't we?" Her tone quivered with both excitement and vulnerability. Vincent's pulse quickened. "Yes, we are. I want to be sure we do it right, no baggage from Madeline, no illusions. You deserve the best of me." She smiled softly. "And you deserve someone who respects your loyalty, not exploit it." Their hands intertwined, a quiet vow passing between them. After months of chaos, it felt like stepping into a dawn of promise. Weeks and months blurred into a tapestry of normal life resumed, but now that normal was free of secrets. Vincent's K-9 facility thrived, receiving new contracts from out-of-state agencies impressed by his competition win. He upgraded parts of the kennel, adding specialized training areas for bomb detection dogs. He even found time to adopt a new pup, a Belgian Malinois named Duke, who showed exceptional promise. Wayne, on the other hand, served his time in prison, overshadowed by the knowledge that he had no father figure to rescue him from the consequences. Russell remained holed up, suffering quiet embarrassment. Peyton, free of that household, visited Vincent occasionally, forging a genuine mother-son closeness they'd never had. She found part-time work at the library, simple yet fulfilling. Serenity became more than just Vincent's close ally. She stepped into the role of partner in a blossoming romance. They took slow strolls by the lake, shared dinners discussing business expansions, and gradually introduced the concept of them possibly living together. In a sense, Serenity's unwavering moral support and Vincent's hard-won humility meshed beautifully. One evening, after a routine day at the facility, Vincent lit a small bonfire in the yard, one of those casual gather-round flames for staff and friends. The atmosphere was relaxed, staff enjoying barbecue, dogs romping about. Serenity teased Vincent about how domestic it all felt. He only grinned. I guess I'm allowed some domestic peace after everything. She smiled, settling close to him. I can't recall seeing you this relaxed even before Madeline's betrayal. Maybe you're finally free inside. He nodded, gazing into the dancing flames. When your entire world gets torn down, you find clarity about what matters. I realize I'm strong enough to rebuild, and I want to share that life with people who respect me. Rex dozed at his feet, faithful as always. In the distance, the facility lights shone softly, a symbol of the empire he'd safeguarded from sabotage. Everything came full circle, from the initial shock of discovering Wayne and Madeline together to the final triumph of a battered but unbroken man forging a future free of illusions. Weeks later, Charlene informed Vincent that a portion of Wayne's restitution might come in due to a forced liquidation of Wayne's assets tools, partial shares in the now-defunct construction business. It's not a huge sum, Charlene said, but it's something. The court's ensuring it goes straight to you as partial compensation for the hush money theft. Vincent accepted the check without much emotion. Money meant little in the face of the personal cost. He decided to donate half to the local battered women's shelter and the rest to an animal rescue. A final symbolic statement. Wayne's stolen funds used for good. In an unexpectedly sweet turn, Peyton found a fresh start, quietly forging a supportive friendship with a kind-hearted neighbor in her condo complex. She confided in Vincent one afternoon, laughing shyly. It's just nice to have a friend my own age who respects me, not trying to control or judge me. We go to painting classes. I never realized I had creativity. Vincent listened with genuine warmth. I'm happy for you. You deserve it. Their relationship, once stifled by Russell's overshadowing presence, blossomed into an open mother-son bond that felt brand new. Meanwhile, rumors circulated that Russell's health wavered. He'd grown frail, perhaps from stress and the blow to his ego. One day, Peyton told Vincent that Russell lay sick, alone, refusing help. Son, do you want to see him? He's been asking, though not explicitly. I sense he regrets everything. Vincent wrestled with the notion. After all Russell's complicity in Wayne's betrayal, did he owe the old man any solace? Eventually, curiosity and compassion overcame resentment. He decided to visit once. He found Russell in a dimly lit bedroom, oxygen canister at the side, eyes sunken. Russell coughed, a ghost of his once imposing self. "Vincent," he rasped. "You came." Vincent stood stiffly near the door. "Yes, Mom said you were unwell. She said you might want to talk." Russell nodded faintly, gaze averting. Everything I built, everything I believed, shattered. Wayne behind bars, Peyton gone. Maybe I'm not Wayne's father. The shame is unbearable. I see now you were the son I neglected. I'm sorry." Vincent's chest constricted. He listened quietly, searching for signs of sincerity. Russell's voice broke. I was so obsessed with Wayne's potential, or some misguided pride. I never gave you the credit you deserved, and you turned out the better man." A swirl of conflicted emotions rose in Vincent. Pity, anger, closure. "I appreciate your apology," he said finally, "but I can't undo the past. All I can do is live my life. If you truly see your errors, maybe that's enough for you to find peace." Russell's eyes glimmered with tears. "I deserve no peace, but thank you for coming." Vincent nodded, deciding not to linger. As he turned to leave, Russell called softly, "Son, if I were to pass soon, just know I do regret all I put you through." Vincent paused in the doorway, replying quietly, "I know." Then he left, heart heavy but strangely calm. Outside Russell's home, Vincent found Serenity waiting in her car. She'd driven him. worried he might be too emotionally raw to handle the confrontation alone. As he climbed in, she searched his face. "You okay?" He gave a small shrug. "As okay as I can be." He apologized. "I guess that's something." She started the engine, pulling away from the curb. "It's a huge step. Are you sure you don't want to see him again?" Vincent breathed out slowly. "We'll see. Right now, I'm not sure. If he truly wants to mend things, I won't slam the door. But I've found my life is better without letting him overshadow me." They lapsed into silence. Then, in a gentle voice, Serenity said, "Vincent, about overshadowing, I wanted to tell you something. I might be overshadowing my own feelings. I care about you, deeply, more than as a friend." She paused, knuckles whitening on the steering wheel. "We've danced around this. We share a bond that got us through the darkest times. And I guess I want to see if we can be more than neighbors, more than friends." Vincent felt a rush of warmth. He gently placed a hand over hers. "I want that too. I've wanted it for a while but was afraid to push. You've been my rock. And yes, I want to try for something real." Her eyes shone with relief. "Then let's do it. Slowly, carefully, but wholeheartedly." He nodded, a faint smile curving his lips. Wholeheartedly. In the following weeks, Vincent and Serenity openly dated, attending community events, sharing dinners with Peyton. The K-9 facility soared to new heights, welcoming more staff. The fiasco with Wayne became a cautionary tale in local gossip. People quietly admired how Vincent overcame it with courage rather than self-pity. Peyton, too, found a gentle companion in the neighbor from her condo, attending painting classes and forging a new life free from Russell's oppressive influence. She occasionally updated Vincent that Russell's health continued to fail, though he seldom asked for visitors. Vincent decided not to dwell on it, focusing on building a stable, positive life. As if the universe refused to let everything fade quietly, Vincent received a second letter from Wayne in prison. This one read, "Vincent, my lawyer says I'm locked in for at least 18 months. I can't believe Dad deserted me. He won't even answer my calls. Funny how it turned out. I guess you won. But part of me wonders if you can do something to lighten my sentence. Maybe speak to the DA that I was just misguided. Show a little mercy, man. Maybe then I can start over. If you refuse, fine. But I had to ask." Wayne Vincent's jaw tightened. Mercy? After Wayne threatened his dogs, tried to sabotage him, nearly killed him with a crowbar? Did Wayne deserve a second chance? Serenity, reading the letter at Vincent's request, advised him gently, "It's your call. Real mercy might free you from bitterness, but do you trust Wayne not to retaliate if he's out?" He sighed, placing the letter aside. "I don't trust him, and letting him out early might endanger others. He hasn't shown real remorse, just self-pity. So no, I won't intervene." He tore the letter in half. The decision felt final, a boundary of self-protection. Time slipped on, and rumors spread that Peyton's neighbor might propose marriage. She was a grown woman with the right to happiness. Vincent found it sweet his mother, after decades of stifling, might get a joyful new start. One day she texted him, "He proposed, I said yes. Will you stand with me at a small ceremony?" Vincent's heart soared. "Of course, Mom. I'd be honored." It was a small, quiet backyard ceremony at the neighbor's house. Peyton wore a simple, graceful dress, tears in her eyes, as she exchanged vows for a marriage built on respect. Vincent gave her away, smiling like he never had in her presence. Russell was not there, but Peyton seemed at peace with that. In a bittersweet coda, Russell passed away quietly a month later, found in his armchair, presumably from complications of his illness. Word reached Vincent through Peyton. who discovered the news from an acquaintance. Despite all the bitterness, Vincent felt a pang of sorrow. A father was still a father. He attended the small funeral, standing with Peyton, not shedding tears, but acknowledging the final chapter of Russell's misguided life. Wayne, still in prison, was not granted leave to attend. At the graveside, the handful of extended family members gossiped in hushed tones about how Russell never recovered from Wayne's scandal and he alienated Vincent, who turned out successful. Vincent offered no commentary, his face an impassive mask. Inside, he felt closure. Russell had never truly embraced him. But in death, the man's capacity to manipulate ended. He placed a single rose on the coffin. "Rest, Dad," he whispered, mixing regret with acceptance. Peyton sniffled quietly. They parted ways after the ceremony, each resolved to let the ghosts rest. Back at the K9 facility, the staff threw a small private dinner to celebrate Vincent's ongoing success and to offer condolences for Russell's passing. The mood was warm, a family of colleagues forging on. Serenity stood up in front of everyone, praising Vincent's leadership, then hesitated shyly. We wanted to do something special." She locked eyes with him, breath catching. A hush fell. She approached Vincent, heart pounding. "We've been on this journey a while now. You taught me loyalty can overcome betrayal. That building something genuine is worth the risk." She paused, blinking tears. "Vincent Whitaker, would you do me the honor of letting me stand by your side maybe for the rest of our lives?" Gasps fluttered among the staff. Vincent's mouth went dry. You're proposing?" She offered a small, hopeful smile, a glimmer in her eyes. "Yes, I guess I am. Are you open to it?" Emotion swelled in Vincent's chest, recalling everything: Wayne's affair, Madeline's deception, his father's favoritism. Yet here was a woman who'd proved unwavering devotion, who saw him at his lowest and never flinched. He clasped her hands. "Serenity, I'd be honored." Applause erupted from the staff. Tears brimmed in some eyes. Rex bounded up, tail wagging, as though giving doggy approval. Vincent laughed softly, pulling Serenity into a tender embrace. This, after all the storms, was what victory tasted like. The weeks that followed shimmered with hope. Though Vincent and Serenity didn't plan an elaborate wedding, they wanted something small, intimate, free of drama. He proposed a date in the next few months, perhaps by the lake where they once walked, letting the natural serenity reflect the peace they'd found. In the meantime, Peyton, newly remarried, expressed excitement about assisting. "Let me do something small for you two, a modest ceremony," she offered. Vincent teased her. "Mom, you just got hitched yourself. Must you jump into planning another wedding?" She only laughed, the glow of her own newfound happiness giving her unstoppable positivity. Vincent continued expanding the K9 facility, forging additional partnerships. The Police K9 Federation approached him about creating a specialized academy for advanced K9 tactics. He agreed to a preliminary contract, seeing it as a chance to further cement his legacy beyond Wayne's betrayal. Freed from the constant drama, his business soared unrestrained. Out of curiosity and a touch of compassion, Vincent wrote Wayne one final letter, not to lighten his sentence, but to share a measure of closure. He explained that he'd forgiven the past in his heart, though not ignoring the legal ramifications. He wished Wayne to find redemption on his own path. Wayne responded with a short note. "I get it. I messed up. I'll serve my time. Don't pity me. Congrats on your new life." For Wayne, that was as close to an apology or acceptance as he'd get. Vincent felt a small sense of relief. The years of sibling rivalry ended in a lonely prison cell, a cautionary tale for them both. Months flew by. Finally, a bright spring afternoon found Vincent standing by a tranquil lake shore, wearing a simple tailored suit, Rex at his side. Serenity, radiant in a flowing gown, approached along a grassy aisle where close friends and a few family stood. Peyton beamed in the front row, dabbing tears. Vincent's staff also attended, and some police K-9 colleagues, too. It was a small but heartfelt gathering. The officiant greeted them, the lake shimmering behind like a gentle witness to their union. They exchanged personal vows. Serenity spoke of how she admired his integrity and unwavering spirit, while Vincent pledged to protect her happiness as he had protected everything else dear to him. Their hands entwined, hearts aligned in the presence of loyal friends, they sealed the vow with a kiss. The crowd erupted in applause. Rex barked excitedly as if offering blessing in dog language. Serenity laughed, patting the dog's flank. Peyton teared up, hugging Vincent afterwards, whispering, "I've never seen you so content." Vincent, holding Serenity's hand, responded softly, "I truly am." A small reception followed at a rustic lodge near the lake. Laughter and gentle music filled the air. Vincent introduced Serenity to some new police chiefs, or K-9 folks, while she introduced him to her extended cousins who'd traveled in. Peyton chatted with a new spark in her eyes, proud to see her son find happiness after so much betrayal. Then, an uninvited guest arrived near the lodge's entrance. Madeline. She stood hesitantly, dressed plainly, face etched with sorrow. The staff recognized her, unsure how to react. Serenity spotted her from across the room and discreetly informed Vincent. Vincent tensed, uncertain if drama might unfold. He stepped outside to meet Madeline quietly so as not to disrupt the joyous event. "What are you doing here?" he asked, arms crossed. Madeline lowered her gaze. I heard about your wedding from a mutual friend. Don't worry, I'm not here to ruin it. Just wanted to see you happy. Maybe offer real congratulations. Then I'll leave." Vincent studied her, searching for hidden motives. She looked genuinely contrite, her eyes lacking the manipulative gleam they once had. He exhaled, nodding politely. "All right. I appreciate the sentiment, but you can't come inside. We're celebrating a fresh start." She swallowed. "I understand. I just wanted to say you deserve this. I'm sorry I never appreciated you, that's all." Vincent regarded her for a moment, then gave a small nod. "Thank you. I hope you find peace somewhere. Goodbye, Madeline." She blinked, tears forming, and turned to go. He watched her leave, feeling oddly calm. No anger, no longing, just closure. Returning inside, Vincent's expression had a contemplative edge. Serenity touched his arm. "Everything okay?" He forced a reassuring smile. "Yes, she just offered a final goodbye. It's done." Serenity nodded, face soft with relief. The wedding festivities continued. Vincent and Serenity cut a simple cake, Rex circling for scraps. Toasts were made, referencing Vincent's triumph over adversity. Peyton made a short speech, voice trembling with love and apology for the past. She concluded, "I see in Vincent a man who overcame betrayal with quiet strength. Let him and Serenity enjoy a bond, free from illusions." Applause rose. Vincent's staff teased him about honeymoon plans. He joked about taking Serenity on a K-9-friendly retreat. They shared an affectionate laugh. The evening ended in a gentle swirl of dancing on the lodge's outdoor deck, where Vincent and Serenity swayed in each other's arms beneath twinkling string lights. The hush of the lake surrounded them, the last vestiges of Wayne's shadow evaporating. After the final dance, as guests departed, Vincent pulled Serenity aside, gaze serious yet tender. "I promise you, I'll guard our marriage with the same dedication I give my dogs, absolute loyalty. No games." She smiled, eyes brimming. "I trust you with my life. Let's build something real." They sealed it with a gentle kiss, the hum of night creatures underscoring their vow. Epilogue. Exactly 1 year post-wedding, life had changed drastically for Vincent. The K-9 Academy blossomed into a top-tier institution, recognized statewide. He traveled occasionally to speak at conferences, always returning to Serenity and their home near the training facility. Rex, still spirited, was nearing retirement from active demonstrations, making room for the younger Duke to step up. Wayne remained in prison, rumored to be up for parole in a couple of years. Russell's estate eventually fell into disarray, with Peyton disclaiming her share, focusing on her simpler life. She occasionally visited Vincent and Serenity, sharing a family meal that felt genuine rather than forced. Madeline's whereabouts stayed unknown, rumored to be working marketing gigs in different states. Vincent never inquired. She was part of a chapter he had closed, replaced by the warm trust he found in Serenity. One bright morning, after finishing an advanced suspect apprehension demonstration for a visiting police force, Vincent walked outside to see Serenity leaning on the kennel fence, smiling in the sunshine. He approached, arms sliding around her waist from behind. She tilted her head back, eyes shining. "You done wowing the world for today?" He chuckled. "Yes, ma'am. Ready for lunch with my favorite person." He glanced at the yard, dogs yapping happily. "I never thought I'd be so content after the chaos." She turned in his arms, pressing her forehead to his. "Sometimes you have to endure a hurricane to truly appreciate calm seas." He nodded, grateful for the metaphor. They strolled hand in hand toward the facility's main building, ready to plan the rest of their day. And so it ended for Vincent. The man, once overshadowed by a disloyal wife and manipulative brother, emerged as a champion, forging a new life with a loyal partner who valued his integrity. The memory of betrayal remained a scar, but one that reminded him he was stronger than adversity. The future stretched ahead, bright and unencumbered, every step guided by loyalty, honesty, and the quiet power of a man who'd proven he could weather any storm.